So I was just thinking about this time I was inside of college, right? And my teacher asked a question to the entire class, a philosophy teacher. He was like, "Do you think that the world is inherently evil or inherently good?" The whole class said, "The world is inherently good." And I was like, "Evil?" I couldn't really express why I thought that. I just knew it was right. But I was just thinking, hey, well, I think about it ever so often after that. Because everybody just smirked at me and was like, whatever, bitch, you just want to be different. The thing is, I didn't want to be different. I was just saying the truth. I just didn't know how to express it. You know how you can calculate 2 plus 2 equals 4, but you can't motherfucking tell the teacher how you got to that conclusion. You just know it. That's what had happened. But my whole thing is, right, if everyone is inherently good, then how the fuck did evil even become and come into existence in the first place? It's not possible because there's no gateway in good. There's no reason for evil to exist. However, with evil, there becomes a reason and a necessary and due cause for good to exist. Especially when you get sick and tired of that shit, right? You get annoyed, especially with people trying to top the most evil person. That becomes annoying. Wouldn't you agree? I would agree. So yeah, that was my theory. I also just wanted to talk shit because people are fucking trash, yo. You have some really fucking trash ass people in the world. You have people who are literally manipulating the world and manipulating culture and energy to stop people from having children and then producing children of their own, only to have these kids out in the motherfucking street with nothing on their backs, nothing to eat, no motherfucking prospects of what they are or what they can do in the world to contribute to the fucking world around them. You literally just have a whole bunch of crackheads just fucking and just having children while people literally scientifically engineer ways to stop other people from having children in or having a space in the world because that space that they're going to take up is going to be greater than their space. This is what also about with the Bible, right? The Bible says to spread you to separate and spread far wide. This is what the Asians did. And they become Mexicans and they become Puerto Ricans and all that shit, right? They become other groups and other cultures. And then what do? Discriminate against other groups and other cultures. And then either infiltrate and fuck all the boys and have their children, thusly creating different races, or discriminate so much against other people that these people are then become outcasts and people don't want to fucking deal with them in a respectful manner because it becomes something to look down at. You know how you walking around with an ugly girl and people like, and you'll be afraid to be seen with the girl, or vice versa with a guy, right? That's how the shit is, and we all know that, and we all for some reason don't really fucking acknowledge how the fuck do you spend. How long has TV been on the air? Over 100 years, and over 100 years they've been putting propaganda against black people in the way that black people look, right? But we're not supposed to feel no type of way about that. And in fact, we're supposed to just ignore it. And it's not even supposed to affect us. And we're not even supposed to act like that's something that's in the mainstream perception, right? We're supposed to ignore it. And on top of that, maintain our composure while people emulate us. Who, for instance, every gay man has a what personality? Black girl personality. Exactly. Exactly. Black girl personality. Every white girl that wants to be popping has a what? black girl personality. But that's the way that most society feels, right? If you look at Karen, Karen feels that way too. Karen really think that somebody want to be her because we got black girls out here wearing blonde hair. When really black girls be like, damn, I look good with this blonde ass hair. Like, I definitely look much better than what the fuck you was telling me I looked like yesterday or some shit like that. I just found that shit interesting. I find it interesting as fuck because one of the biggest distractions in the world is race and racism, but it's also legitimate as fuck because we share cultural links. Like in our cultures, we share certain things and certain triggers, certain personality traits. We all share that, right? And sometimes it's fucking annoying. Sometimes they just like, God damn, your whole family like that. And sometimes it's like, wow, your whole family is like that. Would you believe that some people have mastered being able to manipulate spirit and energy so that their whole family is like that? Or that somebody else's whole family is like that? Can you believe that? Can you believe that we here today have people manipulating against their own family, trying to make them trip them up? When we have whole populations of people actually doing shit against people already just because they exist as a black person? Tell me you don't think that there's white witches out here doing motherfucking white supremacy spells or spells against black people in general. Tell me you don't think that. Tell me that that is not something that is actually something that actually makes sense, right? It does. It's always made sense. You can tell the way that people operate by the way that people operate that this is a world that was built off of inherent evil, and people have tried very hard to not only overcome the evil but to create something that's different from the evil, right? So I think that that's really, really interesting. And that's it. For example, right? We all want, well, okay, back the fuck up, back up, back up. There's a lot of people who would love to support black businesses, right? But for example, this black business I just went and supported, right? You could clearly tell that this is food. This is obviously some, well, it's obvious to me. This is some Jamaican food in here. All right. This is some oxtails. I paid motherfucking $20. I'm not gonna show you my oxtails. I paid $20 for that oxtails. It was $18 and some change for a medium oxtail. Okay? The girl must have not, I don't know why Jamaicans don't respect me. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't understand why they just see me and they be like, this bitch not Jamaican. This bitch don't know nothing about the culture. She don't know what the fuck we saying. She don't know nothing about what the fuck we be out here charging. How this plate is supposed to look. They completely dismiss my blackness. They miss it. They just miss it. And I don't get it. I don't understand. Right? Because the girl really was about to give me some fucking 79 cents as change. I gave you a $20 bill. You don't give me more than 79 cents. I'm like, okay, give me a receipt. To which she gave me someone else's receipt. Still trying to be motherfucking slick. My thing is, this is already expensive as fuck. There's not that many Jamaican restaurants. And in fact, there actually it's grown more since a few years ago. When I first moved up here, there was only one Jamaican restaurant, and it was hidden right very nicely behind a few other shopping centers and buildings. This Jamaican store, this is this is like the third Jamaican store that's here. Okay, so maybe they're taking it for granted. I don't know. I really don't understand what's going on. Why the fuck you gonna try to rob me when I just bought a fucking plate, and I come in there pretty fucking often. All right, I don't understand why you do that. Indians do it because we're not gonna just make it a black thing. Chinese people do it. Fucking Puerto Ricans and motherfucking Mexicans. What is the issue? It's that we all want to feel like we motherfucking got it like that. Like we're slick or some shit. Like we're capable of running a motherfucking large. We want to feel like we're shit. We're that person. Yeah, so perhaps that was it. Perhaps we were all good at one point and then the goodness like got elevated. Maybe we had a contest on who could be the best. Do you think that contest and competition is inherently evil? I think that's a more important question to ask, I suppose, than if the world or people are inherently evil. We have our proclivities. We have our motherfucking desires, right? And we're humans, right? So that means that motherfucking weather is we're simple ass creatures and complicated at the same time, which is so fucking dangerous, right? Because that means that the weather can influence the way that we feel and the way that we are thinking, right? And change it. That means so maybe we were all good, right? And then there was a fucking big ass meteorite and the sun came out and we felt that heat. And we were like, oh hell no. And we motherfucking righted it and then all of a sudden everybody became evil. Perhaps that's it. I don't know. That sounds like that's the big bang theory. How did the world become full of fucking assholes? Because that's the only thing that really explains racism, right? Because at one point this was Pangea, right? And with it being a even space, technically an even space, there's no way that there would be a like would there though? Because even if there was Pangea, right? No, there wouldn't be too much variation on skin tone, considering how Pangea is supposed to have been. There wouldn't be too much variation in skin tone, considering what we think makes and contributes to skin tone. So racism came with the divisions of land, which is what really is really setting me to fuck off. Because there's a lot of people that's escaping from the lands that they claim for themselves and they really tried to fuck people up about. Bible, right? Because in the Bible says you're gonna be cleared out from your space, and when you look up tomorrow, bitch, and you can see back in that space, there's gonna be a whole bunch of other people in that space, and you're not even gonna know it's yours. They're gonna tell you it's not, like what they did with Egypt. Even to today, you have Pakistanians and motherfucking Indians in Egypt, and they are claiming to be original Egyptians. They are claiming that Egypt is not even an African land or African space. And on top of that, they glorify every single fucking Sunday. They glorify cursing that land and spirits that come from that land. Every single fucking Sunday. Not to mention the spirits that are connected to that land through symbolism, right? Because we know that Babylon in Egypt shares the symbol of the Ankh. So, like, with the division of space and people thusly wanting to claim certain spaces as their own, like, we can see that Africa is, or that we've been told that Africa is a primarily desertous place. And it's not. It's not. It's a place that has a lot of culture. It's a place that has a lot of I'm forgetting the word. Um, geographical prosperity. It has a lot to offer as far as the land goes, right? Even down to what's inside of it. Them diamonds, that gold that everybody wants and everybody finds value. Most people find value in these things. And it's not just a concept of people. It's not just like a concept of what money is, right? Like that's a human concept. Diamonds and gold actually does something to our energy. It amplifies and it transmits our energies. So people find real value in that. And it's in this type. It's like in examining certain stuff, certain things like this, you can kind of see how and where evil develops, because people are like, some people gather these items because they know it amplifies and helps you with your energy, right? And then there's other people who value it because other people value it, and that's where the fuck up starts, right? It's the person who wants to change the world or change the way that the roads are built for a certain reason because they've studied, I don't know, um the relationships between the cosmics and the freaking earth frequency, and they figured out a better way of of connecting these two frequencies in a way that's going to help us, right? And then here comes the mayor, the person who wants to be mayor tomorrow because they want somebody to listen to them, a bunch of people to listen to them. And they too want to change the road. Not because they've done this study. Okay, my camera just went off. Just ignore it. Just listen to me, right? Not because they want to do these studies, not because they've done these studies and they want to help create this wonderful relationship between the cosmics and the earth, but because they want to be recognized as somebody who did something, right? They want to have an impact. They want to have had such an impact on people that people remember them. That's like they did some bullshit like create a fucking mall in the middle of the space because they wanted money. That was their legacy, right? They didn't understand what the legacy that came before them, which is hence becomes which then makes you like think about Alexandrian Library, right? Where that motherfucker went in and decimated hundreds and thousands of articles of information that was given to and that was supposed to be passed down in society, right? And completely eclipsed it, took down art, destroyed art in certain lands, and it's still happening today. And I still can't believe it. I just can't believe it. People are really still going around destroying art. When you know how much that means to history, when you know how much that means to keeping the legacies of others. But this is another thing that you're going to find in the Bible as well, which is that there's actually a prayer that actually says that they're going to try and destroy the bloodline of certain people. And I do believe that they were possibly talking about the Egyptians or others. And the thing is that they're getting like there's a lot of people who feel like they're close, right? And they keep on getting closer and things keep on happening and fucking them up. But financially they're okay. They don't realize or even motherfucking it doesn't click in their head that yeah, that's okay. And yeah, we got a lot of money. But literally our land is one of the most driest, desertous lands in the fucking world. Literally, we've been calling shots from the space. I'm just talking, by the way. I'm really just talking right now. But this is how my talking really sounds sometimes. And this is why I don't really be talking a lot. Because I'll give you an example. One time, I was talking to this girl, and she said something that pissed me off. And at the time, popularity and popular ways of communication, it was this phrase of "go kill yourself, bitch." I said to her, very specifically, go slit your wrists. You know that girl used to be a wrist slitter? Like, she really used to use that cutting mechanism as a way to relieve pain. So, this is what I'm saying. I want you to understand, because some of y'all really think I know what the fuck is going on. I just know that there are people watching. I just know that there are people who act like, who think they got a problem with me. Or with certain people, with certain concepts of people. Because of where they come from. What they've been taught in their history. Which is why I'm saying this. Because people will fucking manipulate you even down to your motherfucking relatives. So that they can gain your support or keep your perspective, right? The support of the way that you think It's so fucking huge. People don't understand. So now that I've successfully digressed into that, let's come back a little bit. I'm about to end this video. It's already too long. Um, there are people who, and I kind of forgot what I was talking about, even though I didn't really forget what like the context of what I was talking about. I forgot where I was going though. Like even to the point where why I had to go ahead and put that disclaimer out there. But anyway, yeah, that was it. People are inherently evil, and it's fucked up because we're starting to remember it and be okay with that. Because there are so many people who are getting their way just by being evil and or claiming to be evil, and or which is sad because some people really got to be out here claiming to be evil just to get by. You really got to be like fuck them throughout your whole entire day. You can't keep people with you. You can't pray for them after work. You can't keep their issues because then it becomes too much of a burden to bear along with your problems, which nobody seems to care about. Very interesting.